In the future, when humans cross the line in genetic experiments, the world is driven into an ecological collapse. Engineered viruses spread into nature. Most edible plants, animals, and humans are wiped out. The few people who survive try to live in the shadow of a wealthy oligarchy residing in closed cities called the Citadel. The Citadel administration keeps the population under control by selling special seeds that yield crops only once, making those outside perpetually dependent on them. In this harsh world, 13-year-old Vesper lives with her paralyzed father, Darius. Darius's consciousness has been uploaded into a drone. This way, she can talk to him. Vesper is a clever child. Every day, she searches for food and conducts small genetic experiments with plants she finds in an old laboratory. She also constantly repairs the machine that keeps her father alive. Darius tries to protect his daughter from the dangers of the outside world and doesn't like her following the Citadel pilgrims. One day when Vesper returns home, she finds her house has been robbed. The generator has been sabotaged and her father's life support system doesn't work. Her only option to save him is to go to the nearby farm and ask for help. The people living on the farm use one of the genetically engineered workers called Jock, who lack intelligence. The creature was injured while working and is now useless. Jonas, the leader of the farm and Darius's brother, orders the child responsible for the creature's care to kill it. Jonas tries to console himself by saying that since it was made in a lab, it doesn't feel pain. However, when the child tries to kill the creature, it resists desperately and screams in pain. When the scene ends, Vesper approaches Jonas and asks for some bacteria to repair the generator. In return, she offers to give blood. Blood is valuable in this world because Jonas uses it to trade for seeds with the Citadels. Vesper only gives blood in emergencies, but Jonas has other plans. Once Vesper grows up, her blood will be useless. That's why he wants to keep her with him and make her live as part of the family. He claims he'll also take care of her so-called father, but Vesper knows his true intentions. Jonas wants to make her one of the fertile women on the farm. He also frequently makes her uncomfortable by saying she looks like her mother. That mother abandoned them a year ago. After taking her blood, Jonas doesn't give her the bacteria. He says he needs to sell the blood first and that it will take a few days. But Darius can't survive that long without the machine. Angry, Vesper tries to get her blood back, but Jonas catches her and throws her off the farm. Vesper doesn't give up. After a while, she secretly returns and sneaks in through a small hole under the fence that only she knows about. Jonas's assistant sees her but stays silent. Vesper sneaks into Jonas's lab and steals the bacteria. While she's there, she also takes some seeds that came from the Citadels. When she gets home, she repairs the generator and starts working on the seeds. Her goal is to solve their sterile structure and make them able to reproduce again. If she succeeds, she hopes to earn a place in the Citadel. Darius tells her that the Citadels will never accept her. These words shake Vesper. In tears, she leaves the house and goes into the forest. There, she finds the body of a woman named Camellia. It's clear from the woman's clothes that she came from the Citadel. Plants have attached themselves to her body, draining her nutrients, but she is still alive. Vesper removes the plants. She carries the woman home on her back and treats her with a homemade bandage. By evening, Camellia regains consciousness. She overhears Vesper and Darius arguing. Vesper thinks that she might be able to take them to the Citadel. However, Darius doesn't trust her and says they should leave the woman to die in the forest. Hearing this conversation, Camellia becomes frightened, secretly takes a knife from the kitchen and hides it under her pillow. When Vesper enters the room, she asks Camellia what happened to her. The woman explains that the glider Vesper saw yesterday crashed and she was there during the accident. Her father was also on the glider, but they lost each other during the accident. Camellia is too weak to walk, but she says she will reward them if they help her. Despite her father's objections, Vesper decides to find Camelia's father. At dinner, Camellia learns that Darius was injured while serving in the Citadel army and that his only reward was this drone. Because of this, he no longer trusts the Citadels. During the conversation, Darius has a seizure. Panicking, Camellia kisses him on the lips, and Darius immediately calms down and falls asleep. The next morning, Vesper goes into the forest and finds the glider. Inside, Camelia's father Elias is still alive. At that moment, Jonas and his men also arrive to investigate the crash. Jonas ignores Elias's cries for help and kills him because he is from the Citadel. Vesper tries to intervene, but Jonas pushes her away. He questions why the girl is protecting someone she barely knows and becomes suspicious of her. He finds a woman's scarf in the glider, which indicates there was another passenger. After the incident, Darius tells Vesper not to tell the truth, to tell Camellia that she found nothing, and to warn the Citadel before Jonas does. However, the only device they can use to communicate is at Jonas's farm. When they return home, Vesper tells Camelia that she couldn't find her father and promises to continue searching the next day. Thanks to the synthetic bandages Vesper made, Camelia recovers quickly. The woman's admiration for this technology leads Vesper to trust her. The young girl decides to share her secret and takes Camelia to her hidden greenhouse laboratory. Here, she has plants that she has genetically engineered herself. Each one has different characteristics and almost a unique personality. Vesper is proud of all of them, but she still hasn't managed to produce edible seeds. While Vesper tends to the plants, Darius quietly approaches Camelia. He tells her that it's impossible for them to go to the Citadel, but asks her to be gentle so Vesper doesn't get disappointed, because this dream is the reason his daughter keeps going. When they return home, Camelia asks Vesper about her mother. After the woman lost her voice a year ago, she joined the Pilgrims. The Pilgrims are people who wander around with their faces covered, collecting old scraps. No one knows why they behave this way, because they don't speak. Rumor has it that there is a virus that turns people into pilgrims. So Vesper's mother had no other choice. When Camelia says she never knew her own mother, Vesper brings her a book. Inside, there are pictures of animals Vesper has never seen before. As someone who has seen them in the past, Camelia describes the sounds they make and teaches Vesper. When Vesper learns that there are still real animals in the citadels, she asks why outsiders aren't allowed to live there too. Camelia says that the rulers are afraid of running out of resources. Vesper points out that outsiders could do the hard work and there would be no need for jug production. But Camelia reminds her that the citadel likes control and that jugs, unlike people, don't rebel. That evening, Vesper brings out her mother's old musical instrument. Camelia plays, and for the first time in a long while, Vesper sings. The next day, Vesper sneaks into Jonas's house and tries to use the radio. But Jonas notices Darius's drone and catches it. Pretending to be repairing it, he starts asking Vesper questions, mentioning the missing seeds and the traveler who disappeared. He says he doesn't like liars and that he would never forgive them, especially if they're family. Vesper doesn't confess to anything. She grabs the drone and starts to run away. But the drone can't fly anymore. It falls to the ground during takeoff. When Vesper approaches to retrieve it, she sees a corpse under a tree. It's Jonas's assistant. The man has been left to die. Before Vesper has a chance to think about why, Jonas's men arrive. They pin her to the ground and press a hot seal onto her hand. She is now marked as Jonas's property. When she returns home, Vesper has a nervous breakdown. Camelia comforts her. Vesper feels guilty and tells the truth. Elias is dead. She takes the woman to the riverside to show her proof. Elias's lifeless body is floating on the water. Camelia hugs her father and cries. She loses control and falls into the water. Vesper manages to pull her out of the water with difficulty. While holding Camelia, Vesper notices a strange mark on her back. The moment a finger touches it, the mark begins to glow and the truth is revealed. Camelia is not a human, but an advanced juct created by Elias. Elias was expelled from the citadel for making an intelligent slave. Camelia has also lied. It is not possible for her to take Vesper and her father to the citadel, because she herself is a fugitive. Upon learning the truth, Vesper becomes furious and hits Camelia. When they return home, she tells her to clean up and leave. Then she repairs the drone and tells her father everything. Darius tells his daughter not to be so harsh with Camelia. Jugs only follow the orders they are given, so she has no choice either. Camelia wants to finish everything before she is caught by the citadel. However, Darius's words change Vesper's mind, and the girl arrives just in time to stop her. Camelia says she has lost the meaning of her life, but Vesper offers to take a cell sample from her. This way, her existence will contribute to their research. But this is difficult, because just like the Citadel seeds, Camelia's cells are also locked. While Vesper can't find a solution, Camelia remembers that Elias worked with music and starts playing for him. The vibrations from the music unlock the cell, and Vesper manages to modify the Citadel seeds. Now the seeds are no longer sterile, they can sprout again. For further progress, Vesper needs new filters. She takes the drone and goes to the old laboratory. Left alone at home, Camelia is looking at Darius's body when Jonas arrives. He enters under the pretense of checking on his niece and finds Camelia. At first, Camelia acts calm, but Jonas becomes suspicious of her. He threatens to kill Darius, and Camelia agrees to leave without resistance. However, Jonas notices the mark on her back and realizes that she is a yug. He pins her to the table and tries to reprogram her cells to make her obedient to him. At that moment, Vesper arrives. She pushes Jonas away and stops him. A brief fight breaks out, and Drawn and Camelia also help Vesper. Together, they overpower Jonas, but Vesper does not kill him. Instead, she offers him a deal. If Jonas doesn't call the citadel, she will give him the knowledge to unlock the seeds. That way, he will be able to feed his own people as well. Jonas appears to accept, but as soon as he returns to the farm, he contacts the citadel and reports the location of the fugitive jug. At night, Vesper completes unlocking the first batch of seeds. But before they can celebrate, Darius's drone detects movement outside. The citadel has found them. A bioengineered organism infiltrates the house. Darius recognizes it and tells Vesper and Camellia not to breathe and to wait until the gas wears off. Once the poison loses its effect, Camellia decides to turn herself in. But Darius does not allow it. Even if the citadel takes her, they will kill Vesper too. Instead, Darius offers to sacrifice himself to distract the soldiers. Vesper doesn't want to leave him, but Darius convinces her. The soldiers first go to Jonas's farm and kill him along with his crew. Then they reach Darius's house. Meanwhile, Vesper makes it look like the house has been abandoned and hides in the forest with Camellia, taking the seeds with her. Darius has no hope of stopping the soldiers. His real plan is to have the drone self-destruct, destroying both himself and the soldiers. When Vesper, hiding in the forest, sees the explosion, she panics. She wants to go to her father, but Camellia stops her. There is nothing left they can do now. 2 soldiers survive the explosion and start chasing after them. Vesper leads Camellia into the swamp, because she knows the deadly plants there will protect them. The first soldier falls into a trap and dies within seconds. The second one sees this and learns to avoid the plants. Vesper and Camellia crawl quietly on their knees through the bushes, but another plant notices them and the sound it makes draws the soldier's attention. As the man gets closer, there is nowhere left to hide. At that point, Vesper and Camellia attack. They jump on the soldier, take his weapon, and beat him until he is stunned. The man tries to escape but enters the trap zone and is caught and killed by the plant. Just as they think they're safe, a distant hum is heard. New gliders are approaching. At that moment, Camellia understands everything. Citadel will not stop until it catches her. This means that Vesper and the seeds will not be safe with her. Vesper realizes she's planning something and tries to stop her, but Camellia stops her. She gives Vesper a kiss on the cheek. This touch sends her into a deep sleep. Then she hides her under the fallen leaves and steps out in front of the soldiers, surrendering herself. When morning comes, Vesper wakes up. She returns home through the mist, but sees that the house has completely burned down. Everything has turned to ashes. Still, she does not give up. She goes to the garden and plants the seeds she saved in the soil. After a while, she encounters a group of children who escaped from Jonas's farm. They set out together and decide to follow the trail of the pilgrims. After days of travel, they arrive at a place where they find a giant tower built by the pilgrims out of scrap parts. Without hesitation, Vesper climbs up. When she reaches the top, she opens her hand. The seeds inside are scattered by the wind, spreading all over the land. These seeds sprout and multiply, becoming the beginning of a new life for everyone.